Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me. You know, there's a lot of content, a lot of media out there at the moment which is informing us all in no uncertain terms how much under the cosh we feel because of the current Labour administration. Now I have a question: how angry are they making you feel about the possible effect they're either having on your life right now or the effect they could have later on? It's really a great big mess in a very short space of time, and personally it gives me pause to think about the state this country's going to be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, if it lasts that long. I mean, let's have a look at the list, shall we? We of course start with what happened with those 3 young children and the reaction to it. Yes, things got hijacked by undesirables, but the initial concern shown was that of parents, grandparents, friends, families, who basically said, when our kids are not safe, enough is enough. And he came out, Keir Starmer that is, and labelled everybody involved as far-right hooligans, an awful lot of which have ended up being put in prison a lot faster than other people for other crimes, I might add. What sense is there? Where he's done that, he's demonised everybody with the far-right tag and not stopped and admitted or acknowledged what problem there is, and we all know what's going on. Then we move to the illegal migration across the channel. They try and water it down, don't they, with, you know, other aspects, other things to do with it, to try and distract away from a major problem. And again, it's a government that doesn't intend to do anything about it. The pensioners and other people have had their winter fuel payment taken from them, and as it turns out now, in a video which I did, you've got to fill in I think it's something like a 243 question pamphlet to get pension credit, so you can be eligible to try and get hold of it. A lot of pensioners won't do that, no way, so it excludes them from it. By now it's quite obvious that car drivers could well be coming under the cosh. There's little things about fuel duty floating around, and certainly bigger talk about pay per mile. What's going to happen there? 20 mile an hour zones. I think they use Wales as a bit of a test bed, really. Not looking good. And also, how are they going to redistribute people's wealth? That's the tax system in this country, isn't it? And anybody that speaks out about this or shows any kind of outrage or points out the obvious, that there is a problem, either gets silenced, shut down, or ultimately imprisoned just for speaking their mind, which goes against every human rights law and every obligation on behalf of the government to butt out and let us have our opinion. Not great. And then of course you get the nanny state, where we won't be allowed to smoke in pub gardens anymore. Not that that bothers me, and hasn't done for a long time. Is he going to go for booze next? Can't have a quiet pint on a Sunday afternoon. You can just see where these things can head, and it's not good. But back to the point, how angry are you with Keir Starmer and his Labour government? Because when you get all of these things piled up on each other, what you get in the end is resentment. Resentment of how we're being treated, resentment of what's being taken away from us, and at an alarming rate. And people start to think, why the hell should I put up with this? I'm not inciting anything, I'm not saying anything, I'm just making human observations about the human condition. And then eventually, of course, people start going, enough, and they do things, and then that gives the state an excuse to clamp down even harder. Do you see where all that goes? And then they can bring in a reset, a great reset of the way things are done in this country. It almost feels like we're being deliberately wound up, being deliberately sent down the garden path until indeed we do snap. We've got to mind what buttons they push and make sure they're not pushed. Otherwise, we could be in all sorts of trouble. Thank you everyone for your support for the channel. We're getting near 100,000 subscribers. Please, if you haven't done so, it's free to do. Subscribe to the channel. Keep up to date with all of my warblings and videos and updates. Hit the like button, that helps as well. Share me on your social media. And as always, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.